Welcome. I'm right now live on Facebook. Welcome, everybody. I want to welcome you all to this program, Tell It to Racheal, on another edition of Women in Politics. As una can see from the topic, today they can get an exclusive interview with Honorable Dr. Kandeh Kolleh Yumkella. And some of the things that we'll go for the talk about now, this proposed bill where inside you get 30% quota for women. Then you also get diaspora voting rights where it can break down and explain to we. And plenty other things there where I know say una are the supporter them. We don't put on a parliament for make good laws them where una self one for no way it don't pass there for the past 3 years. So una stay tuned and we'll go take some promotion and commercial break.
Women and politics. Women have been abused, marginalized, and their human rights been violated in our political spectrum. And this has been a trending issue on the role women play in politics. It is against this backdrop that the iconic Tell It to Racheal talk show platform brings you Women and Politics. Women and Politics is the all-new social media reality talk show that will propagate the very notable and desirable women of Sierra Leone to tell the whole story behind the stories in the political arena. Women and Politics, hosted by Racheal Bangura-Davies. Women and Politics.
Elections and don't come back home, the kabudu don't grab back. Inside a kabudu day, the good one and day, and the bad one and bad day.
And we all know how we country done day now. If it's sweet, awa. If it's sour, you sabi. Now you wondering know if you eat well full or you dey sleep hungry. You where you sus, now you go know if you dey born.
We the people and bang for help yourself now. If we vote for good leader, we get love for the country and the people of Salon, we all go better. If we vote man we come for can take, well, he left to me. Now we get for so far.
I know ever vote na my life, I go ibam this time, I sweat to my life. If I know ever vote na my life, I go vote this time, I sweat to my life. Rank a politician, all they can ruin my life. Salon too sweet, so I enjoy my life. I am Pete and all they can ruin my life. Salon too sweet, so I enjoy my life. Me voting na my life, me voting na my life. Say me one green vote for two tapa. Me voting na my life, me voting na my life. Say me one green vote for one bad. Me voting na my life, me voting na my life. Say because we born a McKinney, me voting na my life, me voting na my life. Say because we born a Kenema.
I want him a lot to love mama ki has a pa.
Talk to me, make we hear it.
Machi my button and talk us want to mota.
Tell the people where.
Say Rasul says I'm coming to Bataka. But in the Sakalam, so not a Fasuka Korin to Mankata.
Tell we bo make we hear it.
Can I come back there? I'm not yet. Tell no from me, but don't come. Would they get me there? Makata Matimba. Minang, Munang. I want meet them, I want them, I want them. Satabas them, so like a Matabrus, Makata Matimba. I want them to name Mamu, so like a Matus.
Me voting na my life, me voting na my life. Say me one green vote for two tapa. Me voting na my life, me voting na my life. Say me one green vote for one bad. Me voting na my life, me voting na my life. Say because we born a McKinney, me voting na my life, me voting na my life. Say because we born a Kenema.
We want to see changes from the grass to the roots. With manifestos, we got plans for the youth. We tire with the lies, now we stand for the truth. We need chef, we go change the taste of the soup. Why? Wait them read for shape t-shirts and I shall be for go rally. Then remember we, after election family, pop champagne. We no go fet for no politician again. This time we go land. We no want die campaign. Mind box side diamond now we land. For pay fee, papa no get dime na in hand. We want more youth, a woman then a power. Parliament, a cabinet, more man na power.
Me voting on me life, me voting on me life. Say me one green vote for two tapas. Me voting on me life, me voting on me life. Say me one green vote for one bagress. Ni manya mwe kama monyonyo. Sanya penga mule magoma eh. Ina vile kama kanya de vele ama. Jimi akbe mu malama eh. Konele baja sinya mao. Yifa mwambie mubwe kenya yao. Yena we amwambie na fae. Mule mambo makbele mae. Wakenya na viprobe. Kongole juhu wa mae. Kenya ya ewini kube. Na vianyane. Kamupa mublae. Tau heba Kenya huwoyo. Dwea grama abramu pelo. Bible votes na me life, I go ibam this time, I swear to me life. If I no ever vote na me life, I go vote this time, I swear to me life. Ranka politician, all they can rule me life. Salon too sweet, so I enjoy me life. I am Peter, and all they can rule me life. Salon too sweet, so I enjoy me life. Me voting na me life, me voting na me life. Say me one green vote for two tapas. Me voting na me life, me voting na me life. Say me one green vote for one bagress. Me voting na me life, me voting na me life. Say because we born a macking, me voting na me life, me voting na me life. Say because we born a kenema.
So, the next 5 years, you vote now you live. Anybody we want lead win, it gets for declaring assets.
I'm glad we don't get brand ambassadors a year because they get for help me for tell una all wait till the bad thing that can happen where we eat dirty in the streets.
What you throwing dirty in the streets? The place is smell and you know go one forget a smell day.
Yeah, look where I find for what. But if you throw dirty in the streets, the place they look war, the place not fine for look.
Fambule, left for dirty in the street. If you fasting for dirty in the street, you need ever done with the center. You not go one for sicko.
If you throw dirty in the street, mosquito will bet you and you will get malaria.
What you throw dirty in the street? All the gutter in the block and it cause flooding.
Not throw dirty in the streets. Together we go transform Freetown.
Thank you very much, Fambulem. If you're just joining in, you are watching the Tell It to Racheal show, like I say, on another edition of Women in Politics. And as always, me now, our host, Racheal Bangura-Davies. And don't forget, say, this program is broadcasted live on Star TV in a salon. And today it will be different because today now a phone-in program because, like I say, we get plenty things them where we want for talk to Honorable Dr. Kandeh Kolleh Yumkella. But the things that we don't do in a parliament for the past 3 years and the things that we equally plan for do. So, and I believe say, we get plenty things for talk to them about, and the number for call when the term reach now +1 647 550 981 +1 647 550 981. Una can call this number when the term reach where they give small time for phone calls so now safe we able to get a conversation with Honorable Insefsef. Like I said today, we talk about the Omnibus bill or the all-inclusive and equitable governance bill, where inside there the 30% quota for women and Idede, then also the diaspora voting rights, how diaspora for register, then say their rights for register and vote and partake in the political process na salon. So all of this here, Honorable Dr. Kolleh Yumkella go come break and down for we and tell we about this proposed bill. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce Young Honorable Dr. Kandeh Kolleh Yumkella na this program. Welcome, Dr. Kandeh Yumkella. Welcome to the Tell It to Racheal show on Women and Politics.
Racheal Kushe, Fambo Leona Kushe, thank you for having me on your show.
Okay, I know say this week it's been and it's exhausting from one interview to another, but that's the whole idea. Let we see what's in the inside this bill. Let we see and let's Salon people get for understand and break and down for we. So we say go for understand what's in the inside this all-inclusive bill. So we particularly want to focus on today. But Famulem, like I say, you self get a role for play. If you get any question, because I get question the way people they don't even send in advance and comments then when they see the flyer say, I get an exclusive interview with KKY, as always, people can call you. So, and if you self get any comments, anything you want to talk, send them at the chat box, at the comment section. When we get time, we will able for read them for Ona. But Honorable, I know say we get for talk plenty about this policy issue waiting inside the Omnibus bill and all that. But before we go into that, really, some people go on for know how you don't pass, because you get people away vote for you. Even the one that went a progressive, one of the APC, or even the one the way the APC, but believe in your ideology, people they voted for you so that things go change at that parliament day. They want for no before we get to this bill proper. So the first thing what I want to ask, because now we talk about the recent happenings, that one, we cannot talk to you without mentioning that. We know say a lot of things that happen at the parliament, but when we talk about the recent happenings between you and the speaker, people get a mixed feeling of certain comments or statements them that you put out there, and people feel say you had something personal with the speaker. But I want to explain, let you just make people understand which kind of issue. Is it from a personal level or from a fundamental disagreement level? Let people understand and clear it up today.
Well, thank you for where they on your show, and also all man they wonder about that issue. Of course, if I put her in context, 3 years now, I don't do parliament, one day that kind of no come on, I don't know. So the only reason we make it come on, I do now because my political party, the elders then decide, say, well, wait, then we say 3 weeks ago, parliament don't begin, because a new session we don't begin to call the 4th session of the 5th parliament. Then say, wait, we see, say, they announced 2 major committee then a parliament, you name not the back. So this is why I gave you the set month. Now I say, well, hey, now the usual. I say, so not a major issue for me. I mean, if they don't include me in the committee, then their own problem. Once I able to do my work. But my party take them serious because they see a pattern. Now, on that basis, the chairman and leader of my party write to the speaker. Otherwise, will not be for a button because me no ever can a public make any noise button, not so. So that context is important. So then why we feel say, me get personal issue. If I been get personal issue, I've been for don't begin hell about this 3 years ago, but I'm not saying nothing. So now my party decides, but wait a minute, this don't be pattern now. And the issues are, yes, me are the only MP where they don't move to about 4 committees, within 3 years. All man keep them committees. Yeah. People then are in committee now 3 years because you need that presence for let you able to take control, let you understand the issues. Because then committees, then they under section 93 of the Constitution. For let you supervise a ministry, let you do oversight, but you get to understand the ministry and the sector. But in my own case, they don't put me foreign affairs, I don't chair them. Then put me agriculture, I chair them. Then after 6 months, then put me development, I chair them. Then suddenly they announced back last year, say, well, now we give you political affairs. So at that time, now I say, all right, well, I give chance to me deputy, now let him chair. Because then they move me around too much as I don't gain control, begin they organize one committee and they understand the sector, build a relationship with the actors in the sector, and pull me. So I mean, the only one and move. And second, I've been in the Pan-African Parliament. People, we get people that were members of the Pan-African Parliament, the ECOWAS Parliament, the European, the ACP Parliament, African, Caribbean, Pacific Parliament with the European Union. People they don't in a committee, then they 10 years. So then don't in some committee 13 years. I mean, them parliaments then they. But me, I did 1.5 years, then pull me come on the back unceremoniously, just announce her on the floor. So with all that thing and they, of course, all that thing and come up now recently, we make me party just decide for right, say, well, we see all that thing plus the man send bill, will not see on a gazette. He send a draft bill, they ask for help. So when you look at over 3 years and say, well, too many things that happen way unique to them. Why that's the be? Yeah,
so you party
that make it become public, but me no get personal fights with the speaker. No, I get issues. And then issues, and then
before you talk about some of the issues, the fundamental issues there, I want for state here say, like you say, you party led by Dennis Bright being raised some concern, like you said, as if you have been victimized or you've been oppressed in Parliament. Where did it all start? What didn't go wrong? Where some of them concerned they have to come up. Where are you being victimized or oppressed in Parliament?
Well, we just
you don't explain so.
The party in belief so. The party where they put all things together. If now one thing you can, but when you put them together, you see a systemic thing.
Well, what do you believe? What do you believe? The party then believes so, looking from the outside. But you were there inside, and probably you feel the pain more because you went there to do a job. You went there, people are saying you would trust in you for do something for them. But like you say, as you they build up, then they move you. As you they build up, then they move you. Do you feel, what do you feel in a man? Do you feel that you've been oppressed, victimized?
Well, nobody know about oppress me. That you understand, because nobody know about oppress me. Me na posse way outspoken, me na posse way recognize me role in a society. God don't give me the opportunity for going to Parliament. I know say under the Constitution from Section 73 to go 100 and something, I know waiting on me role. So it's difficult for the posse oppress me. Posse a system can attempt for make I know express me views. A system can attempt for make them prevent me for function well, because some of them things are na a hindrance to me functioning to me full potential as a member of Parliament. Yeah, and my responsibility there now for make laws, my responsibility then for represent the people that way vote for me, and also for put checks on government executive and the excesses. Those are three major responsibilities why I get. And yes, some of them interfere with that. Because for I did a committee, I organize them. It means if I don't get that knowledge enough, I can do even better as time they go. But if they shift me around, fortunately, God make educated very well. I don't do public policy also for over 25 years. So when you move me, yes, I try for adjust because I'm a public service and try for do my best. But of course, it disruptive.
So what are some of the fundamental issues you get some disagreement with the speaker, because you don't state and clearly say you don't get any personal issue with the speaker. You guys are only disagreeing on some fundamental issues. You want to tell me some of the issue there?
Yes. So for example, if the speaker and a chairman of the selection committee, and you see arbitrarily then pull a leader of a party, a parliament, an international parliament, where you don't take oath of office. When I don't meet several times, you say you they solve and they take 1.5 years, you don't do nothing. For me, a good question. Second, if me don't they go meet you several times, they do well, me, there's an issue where I care about. I care about to do giving diaspora space in politics. I don't they meet you, they engage, you get a different opinion, but you also know, say, you're a custodian of one of the most sacred institutions in the country. We're the second most powerful institution in the country. And every government, every country then creates them as an equal arm to the executive arm. If you're not custodian of that, you know the rules of the game, you're not man way beyond Didi, you get experience. If they raise some of them things with you, we expect say action for example, you know say na the MP in rights for let you publish any bill, even if na foolish one is said. Now right. The debates in the parliament will make it look foolish when you don't come. Or the people themselves, when they don't gazette, then go tell and say, but you said you don't know. Now this kind of you send a parliament, but you're not supposed for blocker. You're not supposed for, or at least you for assistant. You're not for just lever. And if the person on the lobby you continuously say, do you want this thing? Let we follow the law, what we call withstanding orders. Let them just publish it. If you see them thing and they happen, then of course he's also chairman of the selection committee. If then they move person from committee to committee without consultation, and a leader, you're not correct. Forget saying me a leader of a party. Take me stature. You know, Speaker, I've been the Commonwealth Parliament, Commonwealth Organization, me the United Nations, you know the level where I've been there, way above. Yeah? In been they work na Commonwealth, the head of Commonwealth, na me and be equal, because me na head of an agency, where over 170 countries, they and na me the lead. Person of me stature, if you see them, they move me around like football, you say go call me, say, oh, Kandeh, we organize them committee, what's that you one day now? You go try for use me expertise to the fullest. Finally, you know tradition. The tradition of parliament is when debates don't be, now the leaders, they summarize. Now then they can last. And they give them ample time because then get for react to everything. And because then they lead political parties, you know say political parties then form them because then get certain values, vision with, so then they give them time. But if third session you just change and announce, say, well, from now on, we'll not recognize the leader of NGC and C4C anymore for a roundup debate. Now only leader of the opposition, leader. We say, wait a minute. Now you come up, like 2 weeks ago, when me party right time, he say, well, in one, give a definition, a distinction between leaders of parliament and leaders of political parties. All mahala, they say, hey, for me, that is arbitrary interpretation of rules. And when people do that, what I don't see in this country, when you do the wrong things, it don't get on record. The next regime, they can do the same thing. And I can give examples of some modern thing, but you don't want to have those practices, like arbitrary, for like you can't say, when me believes a leader for this. So we really wait for make a reply to the letter. Let we see about how they can define leaders. Because when they in writing, we can take and legally go na court now, Supreme Court for go say na the definition this for the sake of posterity. Because remember, another speaker go come one day. What if you get serving?
I mean, we don't see that there a lot. You talk about, you know, waiting past government they do, then this present government they do the same and even more, like you say, because these things, there's standards there. So we some of them they try for set now for posterity, you know, for posterity. But for posterity.
And so, I believe saying that make in the end, may party elders disagree with me. Then say, Kandeh, this is not about you. You strong enough for say, fine, I survive in 3 years and I go do my work. Then say, but others will pay the price. So let we document them so that it will react formally. Let we see by a substance they in waiting it don't do, or waiting and call in politics, ultra virus, that it don't go beyond the powers. It don't begin to arbitrary interpretation. So we get reason for posterity for challenge and now the Supreme Court, like how they do in America or UK. You know, say United Kingdom, one green person challenge the last Prime Minister May, where one do Brexit. Even they negotiate. One green citizen, I say, wait a minute. According to the rules, where you they negotiate, so you forgo a parliament, and indeed the Supreme Court judge them it, they say the person right. So if you don't put her in writing for we, I think that me party wants, we then can take and now decide, so well, I'll go for interpretation back. What in the Constitution really mean? So that posterity go there on record.
All right, okay. The other thing again, where people we get so much confidence to you, supporters, the progressives from both the major political parties and other people that will stand behind you and believe in your ideology. Some at this point get mixed feeling. You know, at some point, they'll think you're allied of the current government, and sometimes they think the way they expect you for stand up for, they're not being seen, they're not see that kind of aggression. I wouldn't want to put it aggression, but that kind of determination on your part in parliament when it comes to some of them laws there, so then bills there, so then they put the parliament. They expected a lot from you. And so at this point, you left a lot of them with mixed feeling. What are some of the I know so you don't state some of the pressure where you get and some of the the things the way they deprive you for make you not, come out strong or make you not be successful in what you push out for. But I want to make you really clear, make them even understand what you're going through as, as a leader of a party where people then believe in the ideology, but at the end of the day, they still get mixed feeling that you are not, like, you not come out to what they expect of you when it comes to, impose on the speaker in the house. Did you stand up? Did you say anything? What did you do when it comes to the cyber bill? What did you do when it comes to the Auditor General's reports where parliaments need for looking to? What did you do? So some of these things, when they expect to, Kandeh Yumkella, he knows better, he's supposed to do this, supposed to do that. What are some of your constraints and challenges, and what do you want to tell your people today?
Well, look, all man gets in your own perception, but I go bet anybody, for show me any leader of parliament where they more than the media pass me. We don't speak more on issues in this country pass me in the last 3 years. Even issue the way people they afraid for talk about. Yeah, I am the main leader where they in the public the most, because I believe say I owe to the public for educate them on issues. So number one, which I will tell you is all them bills in the way you mentioned. I participate actively in the pre-legislative process. Remember, before bill day inside the parliament or they see the debates on TV, we don't get what we call pre-legislative session. Now the legislative committee, now they go line by line. All the major bill and day, for as long as I'm not in my constituency, I don't participate in pre-leg or not, including cybercrime. Yeah, cybercrime bill. That one they are very proud. The videos then they for look the videos. Yeah. Second, people that ask me because they forget with then the other team of salon, people they forget. When it comes to election of speaker, I want to go back to the video. If anything, my problem begin past all. Yeah, yes, APC walk out, but NGC refused for votes. We sit on it. This was the first act of the new parliament 3 years ago. NGC refused for votes. And they interview me right there. I give me opinion why my party refused for vote. Because we didn't believe that the process not constitutional. Passy BC people don't forget history. You understand? But that is on record. It is in the Hansards, the video, then they. On the other issues, look, when it comes to Auditor General's reports about debating it, all man known at this country, say Yumkella move motion, say for debater, even though motion not be necessary. Chief Baikul move motion. Honorable Tawan move motion. A year later, we did not agree for obey that one day, they miss self-move motion. Even 2 weeks ago, the issue can move back. People say, hey, then why have been done move motion? The latest one, Dr. Yumkella, why we not follow the constitution? So I don't know what more people want to do, but let me tell you what's in the go on. People get this opinion, but opposition say you for be obstructive. And meanwhile, let people understand, say, look, you know for which bad for your government. When your government fail, the whole country, they suffer. This country is so poor. It lacks so much institutions and services that we all for help for make it fine. And so
now, all the bill that we don't, all the bill them we don't pass the parliament. No, bill that we good for salon.
A lot of them, the majority of them good for salon. This is why you see the first year and a half, people say, oh, it with the government now. In fact, people they don't buy it. Because why? Genuinely, we came in there to work with the government for the sake of Salon. Salon, they are amongst the 5 poorest countries in the world. High maternal mortality rate, high infant mortality rate. Things that know the war, corruption, Boku. We get for help government for solve that. That was our position as a party, constructive opposition. But people get at the hate say, once the government can you for the opposition, me not mix span that. If anything, they were educate people. Waiting missing a waiting man country, we make them they go before. They work together. Politicians from across the aisle, they come together, they write bill together. So number one, I make them public the first day in parliament that we will be a constructive opposition. We go critique, we go give ideas, we go give options. Government can take it and left. And they do on a parliament, and they go on media regularly. I know they even stop there. I am the only MP where they write articles. Go look. So what are they trying for? The beginning. We give the new government the benefit of the doubt. For give them every support for serve this country and let we help them. Of course, in between, we begin critique. Then they come up, say, this is not so. Even free education. From the very beginning, we say, hey, the very first day, we say, we don't see him on the speech, but we the advisor, because we already believe, say, yes, for make education accessible to people there. However, with the advisor, no Russia, do it in phases. Do primary school, doing well, build the school there, incentivize the teachers, make sure, say, the quality, the day you move to phase 2, secondary school, you do the same, get them right. But if you try to do all things where you not get money, it will be problem as you go along. So if you check the record, whether not education, agriculture, the economy, that's what you want like me about the video, then they say Dr. Yumkella not the only talk. Every time they also publish, they publish in views, now the newspapers, they go on the radio and the TV back. But let me tell you, then one way also they say, well, it not do enough. Some of them get this image also of Malema. Say, go they now revolutionary, they preach. That's not my style. That's not my style. All man get style. My own style, work for the people, critique, go back to the public and educate them. Say, now this I see. And Boku issues, and they then go tell you now this country. Yumkella go na TV and radio, yes, he get mindful, so don't they talk about it.
So let's talk about, you don't talk about some of the challenges them, and you mentioned, say, most of the bill them or whatever where the government passed, they were good bill. But again, you talk about, say, some of the things that with them can go again now parliament, you raise issue and all of that. Do you think, say, the opposition, they play the major opposition, which is the APC party, they really support you in terms of the motions, the way you can move, the way you can push, in some of the things that we can raise concern about? Are they also equally moving enough for CISE some things that go right in a parliament, or they I mean, it's only you? Do you have the support of the majority opposition in parliament?
On the number of issues where we don't get common position, yeah, where we don't fight together, we don't move motions, each one, we back each other in motion, one move and 1 second arm. We don't debate also on different sides of issues. We're normal because we serve an independent party. Yeah, we get to our own views on some bills, and some bills, and the way we don't take an independent position. Yeah, so now that's again my point. We no go there for obstruct. We go there for look at specific issue, analyze them as a political party, because we are a party. Yeah, people get to understand that. And as I say, some of the difficult ways of man get, they not believe say people can be independent. You for either link left or right. No, they're right in the middle, because we're an independent political party. Now that make a former. But there are issues where we get common position with the APC, sometimes and the C4C as opposition parties. There are other issues where we as a party believe say, this thing where the government bring it correct. Some say APC not see and that way. But that's the beauty of a parliament. That una go debate, una go argue, but yes, una able to find compromise that is in the interest of the people. Now the negotiations can come in if the parliament is run the right way. And that's the way it is meant to work, that you can have different views, that diversity of views, now they enrich the law, the bill, the strategies. Now that diversity of opinion, then we all the two line. Me not to pursue the two line, is it?
All right.
Because and I don't do public policy for almost 30 years now.
All right, quickly. Do you see more? You see more of consultation or dialogue from the, from the speaker or from the ruling party in a parliament? You see more of consultation and dialogue, especially with things they already bring kind of parliament, or
not enough.
Most of the time, yeah, not enough.
Not enough. Not enough. Definitely not enough, and definitely not enough with me as well. Not enough with me, and particularly the past year now. The consultations with me in particular declined significantly. Yeah, declined significantly. Well, I mean, the speaker gave for answer for himself, but me see that. And of course, they no say we don't raise them, because plenty time, like particularly we see that last year. They go just say, leader of government business, leader of the opposition, come up. So people can say, hey, the other leader, they're not there. So, and it's not correct. The will of the people was 4 political parties. The rules and traditions of the parliament is, as long as you lead a group of people in a parliament, you're a leader. Suddenly, this 1 year now, leader of the opposition, leader of this, and when they meet him, I say, the leader of the opposition does not speak for me. I speak as leader of the NGC. So you can go, and one day they call me for another meeting, say, oh, well, they not call you, but somebody, this other person say, you join the NAS, I know they join anybody. If we announce and the right way in a parliament, so we don't begin. Waiting get this new change. Because some of we are a little stricter now. We're a little stricter, we're more vocal on we critique. So suddenly now it just called, and this is the other thing. You know, they expect me for rubber stamp. It's not possible. You know, go bring something before me in the morning. You say yes, you get for say I conquer support. It's not possible. First of all,
in other words,
with all my education, an insult to me.
Okay,
and as a leader of a political party, it's an insult to my political party. If you don't consult me, last questions.
Okay, Honorable. In other words, let's get this clear. In other words, you just say because you now person inside the parliament, we're more stricter or more rigid when it comes to certain things that wouldn't just run past under the rug and all of that. You are more vocal than the other political parties in parliament. So now I make them the border like the APC, the other political, they're not bothered with them. They are more concerned about you because they openly speak out and they feel you are more rigid on issues.
And no one extend the analysis to that level. All I will say is my style is different.
Okay.
My style is totally different. And it makes sense that it has to be different because I have lived out of here and I have seen the way institutions function. Yeah, I've been to parliaments around the world. I have made speeches in parliaments around the world. I have worked with parliamentarians and leaders and governments in so many countries. So they're good practices. I have a style that is based on those good practices. So yes, I'm more vocal. I write articles. I allow interviews. I do debates like this. I am different. So people can say, oh, na for tell una man, enough for the talk all time. This way in a society, if we just keep quiet, you see, especially when you want to be leader in the future, you know, na for play the game. I'm not answer. I'm not answer for 35 years. I'm not going to change now. For just conform, you know, let you get along, you know, no. And I educate, you know, people, they invite me in at the young parliament, then for talk to the young MPs. Then they invite me to strategy meeting for talk to governments. How I go can in my country, I get opportunity for explain to the public better ways of doing things. Why I go just can't say, okay, for my own interest, but I just hang in there, you know, make fine. I can't do it. It's not my style.
So they expect you for play the usual game as usual. You know, the game of as usual. I
believe some people, they want that. They want the usual game. They say that way they for survive. Yeah.
Okay. Having said all of this, because you know, I mean, we don't talk about how this government, you know, they do more consultation in the parliament, or then they, you know, dialogue, not they, and so many things say way, then they the one can shove now on a face by force, and so many things that you don't stand up for, and things that they go right at the parliament. Talking about corruption is not just embezzling money or thief money or take money, use them the way you're not supposed to be, but other ways than the act of where people and they behave to can be corrupt. So would you want to say the parliament currently is corrupt based on their actions?
What me they say is, I see a trend now where I see say some of the best practices in parliamentary process, we don't begin deviate from them or deliberately by omission. We not do that. So this is why again, my party believes say, look, let we raise the issue, yeah, because it's not good for the future. When people like
like you said, that is corrupt practices. Already we don't talk about it. It's not just about embezzling money and all that. So do you want to say that the right now, as the situation they will all man know, where you self know, will you want to say that the parliament is corrupt right now?
Me want to say in some cases, parliament not they follow some of the rules with them for.
So it's corrupt right now.
Well, you extend the definition.
All right, okay. Okay. All right, look, we'll move to talking about corruption. You were once a flag bearer of the NGC party. You know, if God be willing, you know, votes went right for you, if you don't be president. And now you represent not just the NGC party, you represent Sierra Leoneans also for make good laws na parliament. What's in your reaction or you take on towards the Africanist press publication upon publications upon publications of corruption now within the government or within the government from different spectrum of the government? What is your reaction to that? As a country where underdeveloped, as a country where now we're the 5 poorest country na the world, as a country where hunger crisis get for heat, as a country we get a lot of challenges, and you hear about all this big money and all of that. What is your reaction? Are you concerned?
From the first speech of the president to Parliament 2018, he declared a war on corruption. If you go back to my written text and what he say in reaction to his speech, I say we all ready for joining in army for fight corruption, because we all want to fight that war on corruption. So from day one. And over time, we don't try for point out to them areas who believe say them for look. This is why we have been very vocal about the Auditor General in report. Very vocal, continuously vocal, particularly the last year and a half. Say, if you want for let people really believe, say, would affect the war on corruption, you for take that report today into consideration. And it means you for follow the Constitution, section 119. We say Parliament for debater. Number 2, important for strengthening the oversight. Let them get their money on time, but they need for read them reports then they and the debate for don't go on. Where you go check a ministry, let you know what you go check. Because when we look at the same game don't play for 20 years, you know they change. Every report is almost similar. And when me being the campaign, I talk that about the last government. So now that make I not hesitate stay now for top button. Third. And by the way, let's go back. Why important? Because the civil servant then go no say, look, then Parliament go must check. We not they wait say anti-corruption can after 5 years where the government don't go. No. We they check real-time corruption. Me party don't write about that. Me don't talk about that. The other element is we don't advocate, say, no, we do it in Ghana, they do it in the United Kingdom, Canada, because we all been there na Commonwealth. Then your Public Accounts Committee na Parliament, and the opposition, the chair. That shows say you don't get nothing for hype. You're not afraid, say. But they help you because we asked that question at Ghana, we'll go there for training. Why not the opposition, they check the Public Accounts Committee? This is not the committee where they check the Auditor General report, all expenditures. Then say because all man no say if not the opposition sit down and take them because then go after you. Then say so it help the government because it go make people then take them within and do. For 25 years we'll not green at this country. Even when some of we don't have a 30 day. That's 3. Not so I don't give you. Number 4 on Africanist press and all the allegations where we they see for the past 3 years, particularly the last 6 months. We be alarmed. Me party alarmed. What did me party do? The only party we do one, we look the law. We write to the Minister of Finance and the Governor of Central Bank under the Freedom of Information Act. So once information, we see all the allegations here. We need for you on our own side of the story. If they say we have been transfer money under Freedom of Information Act, we show you by what exactly we transfer. No, finance no respond. The Central Bank Governor in write letter say, oh, by law, he can't talk to a political party. So while we do that, me and Honorable Chair Nomajuba, 2 leaders of the second and third major opposition parties in the country, we write to the Speaker. We say, look, we see all the allegations here they come out, and we quote the relevant sections then at the Constitution, especially Section 93. So we as Parliament forget public hearings. Let we give the government an opportunity for explain to the people, because the allegation here, then people not to talk no more, they see bank accounts, they see transfer information, and at that then they do not civilized countries. Anything like that, the Parliament, they get hearings, and we say public hearings. That letter, they said from who write and they no reply, no response, no comments, no reply, no nothing. And now 2 leaders of opposition write them. Second, we raised them with them back privately, say, hey, in a way we help the government because we don't want to let the citizens lose confidence in the second most important arm of government. We're supposed for the second arm of government, we're supposed for the do this work, oversight. So we write them a letter. Honorable Chairman Majuba, Honorable Kandeh Yumkella say, with all the allegations not only in the Africanist press, it also don't go BBC, it don't go Deutsche Welle, they go now international media for even help the country in image or forget them public hearings. Deaf ears, no response. So what I go say is we are alarmed, we are concerned, even this new one, but New York, $4 million from 2019 to now. 4 million, not too small money. About $1 million, you were able to set up a whole MRI unit. That cost they include for setup, the staffing and operating costs. And this country right now, about 2-3 MRI machine number we get. Yeah, that is if they all work at the same time. So you can imagine waiting 4 million. I mean, if that allegation they will come now, we will feel say we don't do with another one. This is why I just come up. It is of concern, and will not be for no. If a citizen of the United States not been going to court. Again, some of them here what they propose to government, it is helpful to the government. Because once other countries then see, say when they follow on our own laws on accountability, then they get confidence, say, let we invest there. Not to aid that they talk now, investments will come. People will say they follow their laws, they care about accountability, so my investment will be safe. So some of these things we've raised are to help the government and to help the country. But because sometimes some man not like the messenger, so then they say, once na Yumkella talk and a agenda, so forget about that. But this one, yes, if you specifically they raise on the Africanist press, me and Honorable Chairman Majuba, we sent a letter to the speaker, which was published publicly, that we would like to have hearings on all those allegations to give the government an opportunity, facts against facts, to present evidence. If Africanist press say they move 3 million, Yusuf come out for sure, we say not to 3 million, or if not 3 million, they go through the right processes. Because now Parliament no more get power for appropriate money. Only Parliament can appropriate money, not the President. Even the President now will get money. Over to you.
I'm glad we don't get brand ambassadors here because they get for help me for tell una all we wait till the bad thing that can happen where we eat dirty in the streets.
What you two dirty in the streets? The place is smell and you know go one forget a smell day.
Yeah, look where I find for watch. But if it's so dirty in the streets, the place they look war, the place not fine for look.
Fambule. Left for $2 in the street. If you fasting for $2 in the street, you need ever done with the sentence. You not go on for sickle.
If you throw it in the street, mosquito will bet you and you will get malaria.
When you throw it in the street, all the gutter in the block and it cause flooding.
Not throw it in the street. Together we go transform Freetown.
Women and politics. Women have been abused, marginalized, and their human rights been violated in our political spectrum. And this has been a trending issue on the role women play in politics. It is against this backdrop that the iconic Tell It to Racheal talk show platform brings you Women and Politics. Women and Politics is the all-new social media reality talk show that will propagate the very notable and desirable women of Sierra Leone to tell the whole story behind the stories in the political arena. Women and Politics. Women have been abused, marginalized, and their human rights been violated in our political spectrum. And this has been a trending issue on the role women play in politics. It is against this backdrop that the iconic Tell It to Racheal talk show platform brings you Women and Politics. Women and Politics is the all-new social media reality talk show that will propagate the very notable and desirable women of Sierra Leone to tell the whole story behind the stories in the political arena. Women and Politics, hosted by Racheal Bangura-Davies. Women and Politics.
Election 10 don't come back, oh, the kabudu don't grab back. Inside a kabudu day, the good one then day, and the bad one then back day.
And we all know how we country done day now. If it's sweet, our. If it's sour, you sabi. Now you hungry know if you dey eat well full or you dey sleep hungry. You where you sus, now you go know if you dey born.
We the people ain't bang for help yourself now. If we vote for good leader, we get love for the country and the people of Salon, we all go better. If we vote man we come for can take, well, he left to me. Now we get for so far.
I never even vote na me life, I go ibam this time, I sweat on me life. If I ever vote na me life, I go vote this time, I sweat on me life. Ranka politician, all they can ruin me life. Salon too sweet, so I enjoy me life. I am Pete and all they can ruin me life. Salon too sweet, so I enjoy me life. Me voting na me life, me voting na me life. Say me one green vote for two tapa. Me voting na me life, me voting na me life. Say me one green vote for one bad. Me voting na me life, me voting na me life. Say because we born a McKinney, me voting na me life, me voting na me life. Say because we born a Kenema.
I want me lot to love mama ki ate pa.
Talk to me when me query.
Machi my continent over to want to mota.
Tell the people where.
Say rasong sa zempa mo se bagata. Ngate ne sakalom so na sa fasu ko korin sit man kita.
Tell the people me query.
Kala ka bande amma ki tell no from me do come. Ude ke mire makata matimba. Minen munang. Awa mi dem ne mun dem ne kon dem ne. Sata be sa dem ne. Sata sala ka makabris ka makata matimba.
Me voting na me life, me voting na me life. Say me one green vote for two tapa. Me voting na me life, me voting na me life. Say me one green vote for one bad. Me voting na me life, me voting na me life. Say because we born a McKinney, Me voting na me life, me voting na me life. Say because we born a Kenema.
We want to see changes from the grass to the roots. With manifestos, we get plans for the youth. We tired with the lies, now we stand for the truth. We need chef, we go change the taste of the soup. Why? Wait them read for shape t-shirts and actually for go rally. Then remember we, after election and take power, give the power them. What we talk, them for them, but we. Then go give we bitter cola for go campaign. Where they win them and the family, pop champagne. We no go fet for no politician again. This time we go land, we no one die campaign. Mind box side diamond, now we land. For pay fee, for no get dime na in hand. We want more youth, a woman than a power. Parliament, a cabinet, more man in a power.
Me voting na me life, me voting na me life. Say me one green vote for two tapa. Me voting na me life, me voting na me life. Say me one green vote for one bad dress.
Ni manyamu imu kama monyonyo. Sene penga mule magoma e. Inabile kama kanya nebele ama. Chimi akbe mu malama e. Konele baja sinyama o. Yifa mwambie mubwe kenye yo. Yena we amwambie na fae. Mule mambo makbele mae. Wakenya na vikrube. Kongole juhu wa mae. Kenye ya ewini kube. Na vianyane. Kamukwe mubla. Tau hekba Kenya huwoyo. Dwe ya grama abramu pelo e. Amogwe Kenya na yuma. Mulukolo numa okwe bate.
If I no ever even vote na me life, I go ibam this time, I sweat on me life. If I no ever vote na me life, I go vote this time, I sweat on me life. Ranka politician, all they can ruin me life. Salon too sweet, so I enjoy me life.
Yifa mwambie mubwe kenye yo. Yena we amwambie na fae. Mule mambo makbele mae. Wakenya na vikrube. Kongole juhu wa mae. Kenye ya ewini kube. Na vianyane. Kamukwe mubla. Tau hekba Kenya huwoyo. Dwe ya grama abramu pelo e. Amogwe Kenya
vote na me life, I go ibam this time, I swear to me life. If I no ever vote na me life, I go vote this time, I swear to me life. Ranka politician, all they can ruin me life. Salon too sweet, so I enjoy me life. I am P, then all they can ruin me life. Salon too sweet, so I enjoy me life. Me voting na me life, me voting na me life. Send me one green vote for two tapa. Me voting na me life, me voting na me life. Send me one green vote for one bad. Me voting na me life, me voting na me life. Say because we born a McKinney, me voting na me life, me voting na me life. Say because we born a Kenema.
So, the next 5 years, you vote now you live. Anybody we want lead we, it gets for declaring assets.
Not to Pambado, and for make somebody know kind of power match 2018, and after 2 years, it grab go by Wataki, and when we talk, it's then I'm Papa Daile Fangia.
We say thanks to the collective effort of the Standing Together for Democracy Consortium,
Gallant Civil Society Partners, the Sierra Leone Media Interreligious Council, and
Institute for Governance Reform and Civil Society Groups for upholding democracy and free and fair elections in Sierra Leone.
All right, Fambulem, I get a report from Racheal. I get a thunderstorm right there, and everything go off. So we did try for see if we go connect very very soon, and but we go on for give people and the opportunity if we want for call and ask doc question. The number for call, I go announce the number for una. 647. 550-6981, 647-550-6981. You can use that number there for call and ask Doc a question. 647-550-6981. So as we wait for Racheal come back and take the seat, una can call Doc and ask a question. Doc, once again, I just want to make you know, say, Racheal get thunderstorm in the area, and everything we get for do with electricity just go off. So it just send a message. So family would watch 647 550-6981 at the number for call if you want to ask question to Doc. As we wait for Racheal for come back na the show. So me brother and sisters them, the number for call na 647 550. Okay, Racheal is back. So I go as they connect, I go try for handover to noticing I'm phone they connect with. So I go hand over and back to Racheal this time. Racheal, over to you. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Famule, I want to say sorry for that break in transmission. Honestly, if you're not hearing, I get serious thunderstorm here. Serious thunderstorm. So, Doc, Honorable, I apologize. You know, I get serious thunderstorm right now. So the whole thing just went off. So I'm back virtually struggling to come in back. So I really, really apologize for that. And I want to apologize to my viewers them. We already done the peak momentum for Honorable for asking some questions. And the momentum was there. So welcome back. And sorry for that break in transmission day. And we go straight to how we left, Doc. We talk about the corrupt practice system where Africanist press publicize and we them publish, and you said we go for describe and explain how you feel as a party leader. And I for unmute, Doc.
Yeah, I've been not explained on waiting the steps that
okay.
we take. So the only footnote where I would say all anything and the way we've been they recommend to government now for help with the perception also outside for let them see systems of accountability are working. Our internal control mechanisms are working. And what thing happened now last month? The United States we don't fail an exam.
Fiscal. Yeah, I was just going to ask you about it.
Transparency. And that's I try for educate people then last week. I say some of them here will recommend based on the constitution or the rules. If you fall around, the perception is clear outside that yes, the country, they follow procedure. But if they say you, they flout them, you go talk what you want to do about accountability, but they still check the processes. Are you following the processes? Are you dealing with real-time corruption or just historic, the past, what happened in the past? So some of them recommendation and or action the way they take, where some people immediately react negatively, all kind of audio, they come out saying about that, not this. No, it is to help the country manage the image.
So yeah, before we move now to the omnibus bill proper, what's in the fiscal report mean to Salone? What that means, what's in responsible for that? We fail the fiscal transparency report.
Well, every country gets in the parameters the way they look. The Americans, you know, so one money from there, one big money, and they tell you now important money. I know countries the way they don't give money from the Millennium Challenge Corporation. We really help for move them. Tanzania almost 700 million. Ghana, I think Ghana don't get and save 210. That kind of chunk of money we get them together for several sectors, because that's the logic of the Americans. That if they put money in a critical sectors like energy, the ports, yeah, infrastructure, agriculture, and also the Ministry of Finance, the whole economic governance structure, then can move the country before, but now a solid injection over a period of time. But because now the taxpayer money, then want to make sure say your money self we get the manage and well, which means you they follow all the the processes of accountability. So now the young test, what it mean for we is, well, we'll get for go back for go sit that exam, for see if we go eventually qualify for let them give me that big money there and a grant. Now important money, other countries and they use their money, then they
you think corruption play a role inside this tier?
Well, we believe, say, if you listen to the statement of the outgoing ambassador for give you signal, say corruption is not just about the past. We also believe corruption is about what you do with current corrupt practices. That's for don't give you signal. Now, American man study, you know, say, now the inside and this some of we work and study and work. Then they give you signals and their assessment and very in-depth. Remember, say this example they take, so we don't begin from the last administration. So we don't dip on our almost 5, 6, 7 years. We go stage by stage. We pass one stage, then use small. But now the big money you want, 400 million, 450 million in bulk. When they give you that one day for build capacity, they move the economy up. But they're not to free money. They want to make sure so where the money come, reporting will be good. It will be used properly.
In a lump sum, because I want to move to a very important issue. In a lump sum, that means say this corruption where the publication where African Express they pull from time to time and the Auditor General's report and so many other things, you know, put together affects this fiscal reports.
Me believe so. It's a combination of many.
It's a combination, yeah. Okay. All right, good. Okay, good. So I want to make we move on to, you know, to the policy issues or to the, you know, to this bill, this all important bill where, you know, the proposed bill where you under param 100%. In your publication or reports where you put out there, you put them in a very chronological order from 3 years ago, like you said, 3 years ago. Not so now, because I think say people and they get along say why all this time you not doing while now. So me understand. So you get for make the people the way they watch you understand. Say you were in this for the past 3 years, and you put them in a very chronological order. Say this date I visited this, the other date I did that, which was good. So now that analysis says briefly, while you can tell Salone people them. When they watch you, like I said, this program is aired, broadcast on Star TV. And also the diaspora them, where the chunk of the bill, they refer to them. Want for Yeri from you, how you don't work out with this bill, how you don't move with this bill, take to this point, and who side with it right now?
Yes, now since as I go inside Parliament, very first week, now I begin talk to people and say, look, I want to do something on Tusim. Because I believe, say, the way we then disqualify dual nationals from the constitution, not for then certain political positions, not good. Because I also don't see from my experience and me travel around the world and my own global work, I don't see what in diaspora capital flow don't do for countries. Philippines, yeah, China, 30 billions on years and day, Pakistan, India, yeah, you go to Nigeria, Senegal, Eritrea, some of them countries, they billions of dollars. And then they encourage Bangladesh. Because I don't see that. And then I see waiting be to me and some other people where the discriminatory clauses in the constitution left out. I did not make up my mind as I reached there at the beginning attack now. And then indeed, the first bill where we draft and ready was a focus only on Tusim that ended. For amend section 75 and section 76, now the constitution particularly, for allow Tusim people them for hold certain government positions for participating in a parliament. That one day by July, remember we take oath of office around May. By July already, then they don't go inside. Ready for let them gazette. Yeah, so you go see, I don't begin from there now. They're not agree gazette. It was stopped at the last minute. Me and Honorable Chair Nomaju, Ba and myself, now we two sign up. And for show you say we file our processes, we set up a team of lawyers, so other people the way Sabiden Tia. So the wording very correct. And we consult. Remember, say Chair Nomajuba, and don't do 13 years now in the parliament, they don't be deputy speaker. So if anybody sabi the process now in. But that's in the last minute now, they're not agree gazette. And the law very clear. Any bill, whether a government bill or private member bill, an ordinary MP member bill, now called private member bill, they must gazette them. They must gazette them before you lay in a parliament. What do you mean by lay in a parliament? That means they don't gazette them now, they not the National Gazette, for let all the public see. That one day now, because they don't format everything in the government in style. Now you can go to parliament, you put on at the table, the speaker allow you. You give notice, the speaker allow you, you layer. Then they say, fine, now they can do first reading, second reading for debater. So 3 months into parliament, I don't begin push that one day. Because of the delay, fortunately, because me can say fortunately, because of the delay, as I talk to other people about other issues, I realized, look, other low-hanging things and they were easy for you. It's not complicated. Make we tackle some of them things and then now we go make a fundamental change to the political landscape. To seem now one, but it don't say whether woman in the fed over 15, 16 years, whether in the fed for 30%. Me say second at this country 2013, I bring Tony Blair in Western and they former Prime Minister of England, with some other people on the International Women's Day. We even lobby for that one day that ended. I say, you know, that one day is easy for do with just a slight amendment na the Constitution of Section 74, subsection 2. So now that make it become an omnibus bill. So we add all that in. And if you look the one way I circulate now, the very first thing we'll deal with na 30% for women. Section 74. Section 74 say, na parliament, the number not for be less than 60 people na parliament. For let parliament, for let we get a well-constituted parliament. So we just add something simple. And 2/3 of that number, they not for be from one gender. You see how we easy? We add them in there. We add it to sim. Any side way then disqualify dual nationals, we change it. Again, small amendments. Because then in there, we not say no hard for do. And if you get political will, and we see under the manifesto of SLPP, we hear APC talk about C4C, NGC. So I take and say some of them things, and I think what we all go agree on, this is not complicated. We will get the 2/3 majority. So this is why for 3 years we'll not stop. Particularly me, I talk to the leaders, I lobby other MPs, I talk with interest groups, because you need 2/3 majority for pass this.
So
we not get the votes.
Yes, obviously, of course, you not get the vote. But before I come to how you go get the vote, how you mentioned, say, from I think from one date to another, you get a meeting with the speaker, you get a meeting with the president, and different people. I think the chief justice or so. So how the president in particular being welcome this bill? What's that being reaction to this bill here?
Very positive, very positive, very, very positive. It one time, that 10 day, one time now safe.
So why all this? Why
the chief minister one
so
time?
So what happened?
Other ministers, people like SLPP, senior people don't talk to me, but they say, you are doctor, push and quick, try. I say, well, you need political will. Now they control the levers of government.
Exactly.
But remember, and I don't in a parliament now. I don't see where I want something. Not they where I want we not don't pass it. With FETSPA now we modify, but this one, so God now bought more the press now one phone call. So for me, and people ask, well, why now? Why now you talk?
So
I'll tell you why.
Let me pause you there a little bit, please, Doc. Let me pause you there a little bit. I'm glad when you establish the fact that when they want something, they know how they go about it in parliament. They get it. Whether we like it or not, they will get it. So why now you say the president is so excited about this bill? The other ministers and other government officials, they're so excited about this bill. So Usai, what's in don't go wrong now? Because I'm glad the way you say when they want something, they get it. So do you think the president was being real to you, or I mean, they were playing you? Because
I believe I believe say real all man get in timetable, not also. Why me begin move? Because I know this country well now. Remember, I don't dare 6 years. That's why we feel say I know Sabi Salon, I know Sabi the politics, my friend. I don't dare 6 years in this country.
Doc, I want to clear this.
From the beginning to the end. No, laughing.
Salon people and they watch, Doc. I want to clear this. Because this is a very important bill. And me, what me personally I am concerned is about the women. That why when you put 30%, I am all hands up on it, because it don't say where women them they've been marginalized. Yet when election they come, now we then they use. Now we are the backbones of these political parties, but yet we have been marginalized after election and fence side shove we. So I'm really, really excited about this bill, this 30%, because it don't say, well, we didn't cry for it. But my take is, listen, I want to make me establish this. Just like what you don't do. You say, when this government wants something, then they get them. And then they get them like that. So if you tell us, Sierra Leoneans, that the president is excited about this bill, and members of parliament and all some parliamentarians are excited about this bill. So waiting at the hold up, because they get what they want at any given time. Let's be realistic. Let's tell the truth to Sierra Leoneans.
Well, no, you go back for give them time. Me then talk about the young timetable. Me don't give chronology of me effort over 3 years with dates. I get the letters, because waiting and train we don't get meeting on a policy issue with people. You come back, you send them a letter, say we meeting, and then we agree on, and at the follow up, then there you send them back. So you left a paper trail so that when they move, you will see if progress there. Important now, because which I've been trying for say earlier, mindset. Salomon, I don't sit in there in this country, I don't they are now 6 years on the ground. But you see them say, we'll be one do that one day, but not time no day. We'll be this way, if we be no, we'll go do one. Me no want that for beef. I give you a simple example. 2, the one we talk about women, not true. 16 years. It could have happened quickly. It not be. So why it not be 16 years? This is why it urgent now for ladies. 2nd, diaspora registration and voting. The law day, section 18 of the 2012 Electoral Act, it don't make it clear. Say Sierra Leonean nationals can be registered in their countries of residence. So not to law, the law day, why it not be? And I investigate. Well, doc, nobody not push them. Doc, well, not to be in where anybody talk about. Doc, they're not being allocated money for. So I say, fine. That one day ain't so easy because you don't need parliament. That one day you low do one now. And really, when they begin launch the NCRA process for let people then verify their registration last year, now I say, bravo, we don't get chance. Once they begin that one day, now money day, now for just to put the computer there now, and then 30 location, yeah, Diaspora, they go there, then go verify. Would have not been done register one time. And once you don't get them computer, you can use them back for election and then cheap. So because of time, and let's tell you why it's urgent. Why it's urgent. The first election they will forget if we stick to the timetable waiting at the process now, will next day. The first election in the be March next year. March next year and a local government election, March or April. So we'll not get time. And Salomon Passisi say, we've been for don't do and bona time no day. Me no agree with that one. The time day now. And also, this parliament in life, it end in about a year, 9 months. It end. So if 3 years don't die, now in Bokutin and the Camo, when rainy season done, when we come on recess, we get plenty thing that we they can, because the next thing we go here, well, we've been for don't do and bona the timetable, the calendar been full of so unable table length here. If you look why it be omnibus, each of them one day that can pull one bill for the 30% can be in your own bill. Dual citizenship can be in your own bill. The lowering the number of months where people for resign can be in your own bill. And I know how long it will take each one for go and say, well, Lord, do it in which man can do. Because you allow the law. You do omnibus bill, you put them together. Because I believe say we can do all of this within the next 3, 4 to 6 months. All of this. Because I want to make you explain, time can permit me, I want to make you explain really why it's so important for this to seem, or for this diaspora voting, why it's important, and also the 30% quota and other things. But I want to call the number, if we get time, we can accept a couple of calls them. We call them, go call and make their contribution or ask question with regards to what we discuss here with Honorable. The number to call now 1-647-550-981. The comment section. It's 1-647-550-981. So if you get anything where you want to talk with regards to this, the 30% quota, especially una the woman, because we don't say what would they cry for this. Let we talk and let we see how, we go even popularize this bill so for make and put pressure for make this thing go pass. So Doc, while we wait for the call, I want to make you tell why it's so important for diaspora. Diaspora voting, as they can say now with man country, is a no-brainer. Guinea man been the voting na Salon. Why Sierra Leoneans in Guinea not go vote na Guinea wait na outside and then na Guinea for the young politician then if Guinea man already they do and to na. And we don't give you that document, the concept note we prepare other countries, Senegal, Cape Verde, South Africa, then beaucoup other countries, and they do them, not to say in a rocket science. It's very easy. So they say, why we know they do it? Number 2, why important? We give the document say, look, diaspora, time they come with diaspora, official money within the percent now about $200 million or more. The unofficial one is almost the same. Remember, say some man with the same money, now boss they give say, do you care this 3,000 for me? The official one in console almost 200 million. Imagine say with the money with diaspora they send now, now like the aid money where they come. Other countries, as I tell you, then they bail them for send more. 3 billion, 10 billion, 30 billion. Even China, they encourage the young people for send money. So if then they send them money, it's important for let them participate and let them vote, because when some man get for can vote, if they pay money for can register, they go back, they pay for votes. We don't estimate them. So money they cost them between $3,000 to $5,000 just for let a vote, because they get for can register, they go back. Unfortunately, the new head of NEC, a talker, because I asked in a parliament, we come for an approval. He said, me SF, it cost me almost $5,000 the last time for let I just can't register and vote back. So I don't give you the justification why it's important for let them vote. Number 2, for let them participate in governance. My sister, the country then with diaspora, then they now the number 1 country then at the world. What you make them they number 1? You want that brain power? Yes.
I'm sorry, it's not the thunder and lightning. Seriously, go on.
You want that brain power, Naya? I don't see Korea, India, Pakistan, Japan, China. I don't see how then country then they use them diaspora the way they MIT. Now then technology companies, Silicon Valley for bring idea and company business can now then country. Then they encourage them. So again, because of that knowledge, it's important for them we open the space small, but some position in the way we say, there's dual cities enough for the day. Or no want to see possible for be president. Now they you the CC are no member myself. You understand? I disqualify presidency. We disqualify VP, we disqualify speaker, and some security positions. Buddy, if you want that one, they get for give up. You get for loyal to one country. So we even do the exclusion. Now the women there, look, over half of the population are women there. And if women they not sit down at decision making, me man, as good as I am, and policy, to God, I don't know some woman issue past the woman. And it's important for let them day. When war then are the woman and they suffer the most. When they camp on poverty, all the studies the way they see na poor country. The one the way poor pass all man a woman. When they camp on lack of health services, the one the way they suffer the most na woman there. When they camp on lack of access to assets and finance, na woman there. If woman then they and the studies then they, if women then sit down at parliament, then they have some key policy positions. Then SSF can gang up and work with some of we demand them for make sure say we take them policies then serious. Like now me globally, I do work on women's access to energy. I don't work on under 20 years now. And now we don't form even bigger groups around the world. So you can see say if I do work by women issues then globally, because why access to energy? People can wonder, doctor, why you fashion energy? If we take salon, from where we cut the rest, say reach na market, all them work then na woman they do one. Now woman they parboiler, now woman they knock with the hand, now woman they fanara, now they put on the bag, now they go back sit down na market, they sell them by cup. All the agricultural food products, don't go check na their market. Uda bokude, now women, all those operations, we call them value chain, all require energy services. So if you want to give women economic empowerment, it requires energy. So if you take this high maternal mortality, they get away women and they born they die. One of the biggest causes is hemorrhaging. When they hemorrhage, then they begin call family and say, "Oh, I can't give blood." No, if you're able to store blood, which means you need refrigeration, you can get the blood quick, make no hemorrhage, they die. You understand? If you want to do sanitation, high heat, you need energy. So you begin look say, if me they work on anything and they globally for over 20 years. Of course, it makes sense, and I don't know that. I don't see how women then perform in Denmark. I don't see Rwanda waiting they happen. Then they 50%. So if me they ask for 30%, it's reasonable. And right now, some women then they themselves they work on their own bill. Then they ask for 2 safe seats now every district. If you look down one day, go get about 32 seats over 146, about 22%. Me they ask for 30%, and some others they ask for 50%. So when you look at it's not bad, all necessary. If they not give you the 50% bullet, then give you the 30%. If you not agree for the 30%, we give them then 22%. Million point is the 22% now a path towards 30%. It is also a path towards 50% where we want the parity. And some country that we don't perform very well, Rwanda, Denmark, we see in that direction. The Nordic countries now they go. Because women then get sorry hearts. Women then careful about corruption. Women then also, they're very reflective. Women then, with testosterone, we get babati. Quick, strength show. Women very reflective. And they see the 18 will get in parliament now. Very sober-minded ladies, then committed, even when they take the floor, most times, you see them talk about picking them. They talk about the youth. They talk about the environment. So based on that experience, now that make man puts all this together with the help of many people, by the way, me not just the face, me not just the vocal, because God give me a platform now, me a leader of a party in parliament, for push them to where I believe in a low-hanging fruit, then can do and quick. You go hear people say, oh, even for don't wait for the constitutional review process. Why that one day important? But wait here also know that one day get put in the inside. You get land tenure reform. When you get put in the inside, you see people and say, well, why you want to take that one day no more?
Doc, I want to hold on quick. I think people they try for call, but the number no they go to go are not correct. So family, make I just call the number again. Now 1647-550-6981. 1647-550-6981. I think so. We get the number incorrect in the beginning, but this is not the number. Una call this an opportunity, especially the woman them, for make una go able for talk to Doc Honorable Kandeh Yumkella, for make himself go able for explain some of the things them waiting there inside the bill for woman there, and make una self tell them some of the challenges them where we self they go through as diaspora and as woman for that matter. So Doc, yeah, you don't talk about the reason as to why, you know, it's so important for make diaspora for registering for votes. In fact of the matter, you say it's always been there, but nobody know able to come front with Andy, which is a good thing.
Hello.
Hello. All right, I've been feeling saying as somebody they talking on the phone. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, please. Your name and who side they call from?
Hello.
Yes, I they get you. Your name and who side they call from?
Hello.
Your name and who side they call from? Technical team now for ask them in name and who side they call from. Yeah. All right, Doc. You think say like you say you not get the numbers then now. You think say APC when then get the majority na the opposition go support you pan this bill here so?
Me an eternal optimist. I believe so. I believe so.
All right, I get a couple of you know, I get plenty
Hello?
message hello.
And similarly, additional people than SLPP too. I believe so. I really want to see Oda go say no grief for
I
their woman.
call from Ohio. I want to say thank you to Honorable Dr. Yumkella for in good work, and I understand in patience. Waiting again for tell lay no listen to the negative side. You know, say salon. We not let good thing. Anything a good thing that continue with the 12 official go. They're going to the other side because they see idea with the 12 for bringing that country. Some man no liquor. Some man thinking a way back. But one thing I want to ask Dr. Yumkella, you know, we all on the NGC, and so how we see the political geography in that country? Then two parties, SLPP and APC, not the main party that country. So for say NGC will come and win election yonder, it will be really, really, really tough. One, because of the people them, they don't brainwash them. So I say if APC try to bring them come that the party, or let's say for instance they offer them a running mate, or they offer them a flag bearer position, that APC, just for make sure say this country go before, if you go accept their offer. Not because of the party in name or the people that we did it, but for the betterness of Sierra Leone. I just want to answer that, and if they go really for do that, they will push it country before. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Next caller they on the line. Doc, we go take like 5 calls, so if time permits, we then you can answer to them. Hello, caller. All right, while we wait for another call, I get some comments in there. So where Abubakar Siddiqui Kanu say KKY talked with the president no one time, where he wants the cybercrime bill, we see where he force him, but we KKY, you sure say you honest to with people them. Hello, caller. All right, while we wait for the calls, I get some comments in there.
Hello?
Yes, caller, your name and who side the call from? KKY, there's no one time. Where he wants the cybercrime bill, we see where he forces. Name and who side the call from, caller? KKY, you sure say you honest to people them.
Hello, caller.
Okay. Hello?
Yes, go on. You name and who side the call from. I think so. To get some small technical problem, but I want for make we just continue this message here. So this comment. Now this makes some of we not trust you. The other one say corruption, the road not straight. And Jobsina say diaspora is the backbone of every economy. Diaspora need to participate in the democratic and political process of Sierra Leone. Then I see Jiba say they pretend like they like that the person they talk about the bill, they pretend like they like it, but they don't like it. Otherwise, it should have been approved. The game is a game of play, and we called it Sierra Leone dirty politics. May God bless the Republic of Sierra Leone. And this other person said, I'm glad he said, Dr. Yumkella, do you expect Sierra Leoneans to believe you when you say the president is all for the bill you are trying to propose? According to you, the president and government get what they want. Therefore, if they want it, like you say, why not? Why has it taken 3 years? Okay, caller, hello, your name?
Okay, Mina Suleiman Jallo from Belgium. The question is where I want for ask to Yumkella, because now somebody we and I be say now we get the know-how, you get the pride on your own, and I know say you get the national pride also, where you go able to lead that country day from this bondage of the past. So what I try to say is here, because and Dr. Yumkella, everything they try to talk, you see him say yes, what they talk that true. But the governments and the parliaments who get in a salon, they always now what's in them say they are their advantage. And they try to push before what's in other people they try to bring come on at the interest of the people of Sierra Leone. They always, because it's not on their own interest, they always they put them back of the door. So we want to know what's in the way forward. We all learn here, then we will try to stop them, because the parliamentarians and then go there for go represent we the people. So when the parliamentarians they come up with idea, at least the government is supposed to listen to them, because now we they send them for let them go talk for we they. So now the only contribution and they are get for this. So yeah.
So thank you very much, caller. We want to take like 1 or 2 more calls, then Doc can respond to some of them calls there, so and we able for round up with some few questions then. So the number for call now 1-647-550-6981. 1-647-550-6981.
Hello.
Hello, your name and who side you call from?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, go on.
This is Bumbi Musa Kenya here, the call from Philadelphia. Doc, I tell you thank you for the good work we do. As a historian, you always like to put things into historical perspective. The diaspora bill you decide for a little similar to what happened in Salon 1898. The late grandpa Nyagwa, the Nyagwa, and Badu had decided against the British man for taxation without representation. They are feeling at the same thing the government they do to we the diaspora. With the same money, they want the money, they tax we. But they don't want we representation. They don't want people always voting out the country which are born. And the way the Salon law, they look like we know they are the diaspora now. We don't pick in the who come born now. They got right for voting the president of that country, but because we don't can naturalize the other man country now we own constitution the president for even voting at the country.
So this thing, it looks like saying a discrimination. That they discriminate against you. But you know, it all boils down to the fact that politics in that country, the politicians then they don't so mess up the people their mindset. And they see that the only way where they go able to rule this rule in that country today, now the way where they don't make people then for think that way they. Now it looks like they don't trust we. Now that's why I guess we own brothers there and sisters over there, and they're saying that they don't even want we, but they want money. And the government look like the only way the politicians and the people they will able to continue for Missouri country. Now when they eliminate the one that will not progress in them, we then in the diaspora, we get better understanding, they don't get the experience from outside. Just like what they do to you so in parliament, because you don't travel all over the world. You don't see what will happen in other man countries. So that they look at and say, allowing you to let that bill go through. They will get more of you kind in a parliament where they will be a president. So now that way, and the only thing when we get with you, where are the people with you is, Doc, are the advisor, let me stop for play quarterback for Mother Bill. Mother Bill not sincere with you with respect to this bill. Mother Bill, if you want to let this bill pass, from the first time when you carry this bill go, if you don't pass, no. The Mother Bill is not sincere. When Mother Bill wants for let it give money to the players, now 1 week, money, land, documents, everything don't give them. Just 24 players. You know they over how many hundreds. Now we don't know they don't hold on to that deal for 3 years. You know the pattern. So document that no more they talk. Then people are.
All right, thank you, Kolleh. Thank you, Kolleh. I will not get much time again.
That you get the strength and continue to fight the fight until they arrest my case. This is a good news up in here.
All right, thank you so much. I think say I want to make me just unfortunately because of time, and I want to make Doc answer the question here. So then probably we can take some comments and Doc we can round up. Doc, you want to answer to then Kolleh, so then Kolleh there.
Now quick comments because a lot of them are comments. Wait till me go say number one. Una say self now get work for you. Then one we want diaspora voting. Then when we want diaspora for participate more in politics, una mobilize, una use all una tools there now. Social mobilization, political mobilization in a positive way. You know, send letter to the president, send letter to UMP, mobilize your own constituency, then say, come on, this is why we need that. The woman there, now opportunity waiting to una get a man, we say una forget 30%. Una self-mobilize una groups externally and internally. So if you look at in a way, what are they try for say? For change a country, not to one policy or one group, you need mobilization. If me don't introduce una to this debate, I don't give una the facts, I don't tell una say it's possible. The challenge for una, Mrs. Senago, don't say, make us see if Racheal really serious. Make us see if Matilda really able to mobilize. Because if they self not able to achieve them here, or the diasporans, we want so much change in the country. We therefore they send almost $500 million in the next 5 years in this country. If they self not able to mobilize for influence public policy, why they believe say Kandeh Yumkella one able change country or one man? It's not possible. So me say don't throw challenge to una. Me don't try 3 years. The ball in our court. Wait here also they say in a collaboration. This wire not to NGC, APC, SLPP, C4C issue. These are issues where I don't list, we require all man for join on. Yeah. Again, now a test for the country and una way enlightened. Are there issues where you will say, they put party politics aside, they put me tribe aside, but then things are so important that to God miss they pick me phone, they call that me party with the SLPP, they pick me party with the APC, say, do ya, let we join Anba, let we do this, let we self do a joint letter to the president. All what me they say to una, even for una self, the citizens of the country, this is a test. This is a test. We can choose another one, environmental issues. So sometimes I just begin. So last year, something they waiting then you personal selfish interest, if they're able to say, I forget about tribalism, I forget about particular, I join her. Then I go carry with environment. Then I go carry with other things. The last
most of the concern here, so like you don't make a good point, and people them we get a role for play, like you say, especially with the woman them, because me on program specifically, we talk about women and politics, the role where women have for play inside politics, and how women have for take the rightful position for make we self able for make decision for we self, because when they go to that decision making table, and then they think about we. Like you rightly say, we're not go able no we on problem pass we. It's only when we're there we can be able to make that desired change that we require. But again, people are still concerned because we don't see enough people are concerned when they raise that. Look at the comments them say, I mean, the president is probably he's not saying the truth to you. He's not being honest to you. These are all the messages that are coming in. So, because if he really wants this bill, if he really wants for make it happen, as you say, when they want something at parliament, then they get them. So as far as the people are concerned, or as far as then says that the president is not being honest to you, and what other caller make a statement say, make you stop for the play quarterback for the president. I don't know what he meant by that, but he also, raised concern on that.
Now American football, and see the quarterback, and they hold the ball, and the center give us if like on a touchline. So I guess the equivalent na soccer na midfielder. Look, what are they saying? I mean, honest opinion, yeah. But for the president, for in government, then say na a test. They make a commitment at the manifesto, then campaign heavily. Yes, you get diaspora and in government. This is a policy way want to keep moving. So I guess what you get now in this omnibus bill, now a test of political will. Is the leadership ready for these changes? One question. Are the civil society groups ready for this? Una the women's group. For example, the gender minister, inside the work on young policy. In other countries,
have you been able to work with the women? The women that are salon,
that point is important. Oh yes, I don't. Oh yes. The rest assured say, I don't deal with some prominent women. In fact, some send me additional information. I consult them. I tell them the strategy. If me they push for 30%, una they fight for 22%, which is 2 representatives in each state. Una low we fight together, and una company the same 5 will be 50%. So it ain't all my own interest. In other countries, waiting the gender minister can do now. Now for call me say, Dr. Yumkella, forget about party. Say, Dr. Yumkella, I see you want fight for this thing at parliament. Do you come back? I want to talk to you. I've been done the hearing, but now I see say this thing they public because I can't say no don't say. Say, Dr. Yumkella, Kala will talk. Because I will need allied like you. I get the woman then at parliament, then the 18 women, then they call people like me, there are about 10 of us, then they call we he for she. Then no say we committed. Every time we take floor in a parliament, will they push the issue. So this is now an opportunity for many. For C, again, I emphasize, can you leave the tribalism? Can you leave the party colors to deal with some issues that are of national interest and forget party and forget tribalism, forget the messenger? Because they were not in there, not to Yumkella for Skawita. Other people, they may not Kawita. And maybe other method than they, but the fact is, I don't catalyze and ignite a debate. So even you, as I say, Racheal, 6 months from now or 3 months from now, me say they call in now, you should say, hey, Racheal, what you don't do from that way you interview me on the gender issue. When I write to the minister, when I get idea, when I show I'm waiting and don't know Uganda, other places, and why don't you are important? Yesterday, on your other colleague tell me, say, in fact, intake internship way Canada, this country, 2016, for actually work on the gender issue. So I guess I create a good platform for this country now, where you get a dialogue, like how the cybercrime bill said they do. We get a national dialogue on 4 critical issues. And it's very easy for do that. Very easy. If the political will there.
All right. I want for also, because I want to talk about woman issue, because when it comes to that, we know what the woman issue means to some of we don't push and work with that for long. You say you don't engage women organization in a salon and all of that. And we get a movement right now. I'm sure you've heard about that, many times, where they push for, because of time, according to them, they're pushing for woman vice president. You know, as you know, having a political party or representing a political party like NGC. Are you committed to that, you know, that ideology, say woman self them for begin take leadership role like that na salon? Because, you know, we've seen countries like Liberia. Liberia don't get they don't get president. They don't even get vice president. We all neighbors them. So are you going to commit yourself on that?
What I go tell you now, I can't talk for the chairman and leader of the party. If I do that, I will get problem. Yeah. But what me go tell you, a very important, again, in terms of politics, let we consider them for that role they said. I don't see an Gambia. Yeah. I don't see an Tanzania. In fact, right now, as I talk, we develop an initiative where na former President Mary Robinson of Ireland, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the leader, we work on another one where in October this year, sometime 1 or 2 of the leading the heads of states, female heads of states, now then get for good keynote internationally. So yes, this is an idea way interesting, where I believe say they on the table of NGC. And the last time we would look for running mates, we've been get women on the list. Yes, we've been get women on the list. We consider a number of issues. Yes, we choose another running mate for me. But now an idea where I believe say me party will consider very favorably. Then will consider very favorably. But I can't make a commitment for the party now. Not so that they go query, they're not being given authority.
All right, I guess then with Dennis Bright. But let's quickly talk about the consortium. The consortium, you know, don't they make wave na the media, a salon, even to the international space. The consortium is being recognized now. Then they engage them for dialogue with the international partners that will get a salon. You know, before now, you know, they're not be getting attention. But right now, even with international donors and partners that will get a salon, don't begin for dialogue with the consortium, meaning all the political parties, about 13 political parties, they're inside this consortium. And how involved are you, and do you support the ideology of the consortium coming together first time in the history of Sierra Leone?
The consortium is a very positive development in this country. And I want to commend all the party leaders, then we form them. Then don't they together effectively now almost 7 months, and then focus on national issues, then come together for deal with them. Yeah. So me really welcome and gladly wait here the year also say international community and others don't begin meet with them, because I sure say they say recognize it. Look, if people can come together and then forget them divide, them political divide, but then take some national issues for deal with them, na positive thing for this country. In a country where so divided along tribal lines, regional lines, other selfish personal interests. If 13 political parties then come together, almost 80% of the political parties in the country, 13 out of 17, that is a welcome development. And let them continue this dialogue and focusing on collaboration on issues and see how it evolve. It could evolve to other things. Remember, me don't talk over and over now for 5 months. 2023 is about strategic alliances. No one party not bluff anybody say, me they go win on we own a lie. Last election, the difference first round, now we are a little less than 3%. Yeah, I've been 2 to 3%, the difference. Yeah, and all the UK women then play, they know the real numbers. People know the real numbers. So let nobody not bluff anybody say, then they don't win already, na lie. So strategic alliances could change the landscape. And it is possible. I see that.
Yeah, because I just want to get to that point where you don't dare ahead of me talking about strategic alliance. Do you think a coalition can be very necessary at some point, coming together as a coalition, just like they did it in Gambia to get Yahya Jammeh out of power? Do you think the people will support that?
The coalitions in Kenya, coalition in Gambia, That coalition de Senegal. Neighboring Guinea, a coalition did it, a governing coalition did it. The leader of the coalition at parliament, not from the majority party. Yeah. The prime minister na Guinea, now from a different party from the president. So, and we need then strategic alliance then they for help this country focus on real issues, gender empowerment, dealing with tribalism together. Now that make me don't talk again. I don't do on radio for now, almost since Bintumani 3, a year and a half, they go 2 years now, say, no ethnic group, not forget more than 30% of official positions. So we for they do annual ethnic audits. Then they're good for everybody. Now, one of the way they begin address tribalism. Parties coming together also go help we deal with this tribalism. Tribalism, they kill with politics, they kill business, they kill the economy. Because as person don't put down in a head, now like religion, anything now, now they look, which tribe you come out? Ah, that man with the talk, I know like with now this tribe. No. So coming together is important. It's sick. Me really believe, and remember, within a we own party name, National Grand Coalition. People go tell you, say, Kandeh Yumkella from 2012 now, Washington, D.C. Now I talk about the need for a grand coalition of progressives. So you go see, say,
so you think coalition is the way you think
coming together.
So you think coalition is the way forward for come 2023?
I believe say necessary. I believe say na coalitions then go win in 2023. No single party no able win on you.
So are you gonna be moving to the APC party, because a lot of question they regarding that is hanging over you.
I see all the thing.
Yeah, it's hanging over you.
Now so media say, waiting me say, and me they talk now, and that's I don't consent. A strategic alliance coalition of parties is possible in this country. It can happen. And I don't see impossible at all. It can happen. Meaning, just like other countries, now Kenya, they call it rainbow. Yeah? Guinea, they don't call it rainbow, but a similar thing, they come together. It's not impossible now. Yeah? And I tell the young picking there, let nobody no force you say you must stay one side or the other. No. Be innovative. Be creative. We want to form more political parties. That give you activism. Otherwise, now the young generation get for suffer. Because when people they mess up every 10 years, every 20 years, now the young people they will get for come back, now then they suffer. So some of the they will get for fetch. We need for come together.
Absolutely. Before you round up for tell the people the way they watch you, both home and the diaspora, for tell them how they say for come and push this bill here quickly. Well, what you take on the current economy situation, Nasser? Quick one.
Tin Trangana, yeah, all man know that say Tin Trangana, this country.
So you want to say yesterday better pass today?
Well, I will tell you, say last 2 weeks ago, one place they work in buy bread. Then you na which man country when I call them baguette, we call them tapalapa na ya. Side they work in buy 2 because then they put on a packet all nicely. Then they sell them to me 18,000. Then days here now, they say 20,000. Now I say, hey, but I say, can they too plenty now? Not to
so
say
in other words, yesterday better pass today.
In other words, Tin Tranga today, bad one. Tin Tranga today.
Yesterday better pass today. All right. Okay. So let's talk about the electricity situation quickly. Remember when the President Biobi they talk about in speech in Parliament where they talk about electricity and everybody were like, whoa, and that day the whole social media blew up about electricity and all that. What's your general assessment of the electricity in the country right now?
The government gets a good plan where the international community don't help them put together. But for implement them, it's not easy. For implement them, all way to talk just about governance, get for the in place for let the big investment then come in. So if the macroeconomy not managed well, if corruption issues then boko, if people then feel say unrest, they don't will bring the big money. What will they talk just now? Means if the power go out. But wait till make una no because that same day people then they phone in. So I've been they go between the phone for use hotspots and so on. So yes, we still get problems in the energy sector. Energy sector, say in your area that one day, they fix them quick, which means collaboration important, which means stability in the country important. Because a long-term infrastructure investment, we get a long way for solve that. Now that make the Americans then rating be important because that then 400 million part of them for go inside power sector.
So how about the mining? Those are just sectors that were really critical.
The mining, you go here read and tell you say I don't team up na parliament there. I'm now for 1 week, in fact almost 2 weeks now. We need a whole day for in fact 2-3 days for debates, mining policy and waiting they go on. We all know to begin again and in 30-40 years, we don't get enough value out of that natural capital we call Giwi. Botswana, and that money they use for big. If you go to Botswana, you see the road there. Now, like what you again in America, yeah. Now, like Europe, if you see the institution, the way where they pay people, so they get the best of the best, even within governance structures. So the mining matter, yeah. A lot of illegal mining they go on. This country flush with minerals. Me don't talk in a parliament over and over. I don't go over radio now these 2 weeks.
So is Black Johnson a good deal or not? Is Black Johnson a good deal or not for Sierra Leoneans?
Black Johnson get issues. You don't see me position on that. I tell the government, I tell them thank you for $55 million grants. Now good money, but law fair other site. I even don't offer place in my constituency. You know, say we get the 3rd largest fishing ground in the country or the 4th largest.
So is it a good bill for Sierra Leone or not?
Look, the grants na good money. Then you grant, therefore pay back na good money. But
no, I mean the location. I'm talking about the location.
I'm very clear about that. If na Fish Harbor, Black Johnson not a place for Fish Harbor. I don't say that declare. Black Johnson we for developer as a first-class tourism center, way similar to Florida, Dubai, or Cancun, then side and or southern France. People who can money go the flow like that.
So what do you take? Like I said, these are just brief. What do you take on the health sector in Sierra Leone right now? Because people they die cheaply for curable disease, for oxygen.
But for problem they do
things that we don't pass that level.
Yeah, I go encourage the diaspora in particular. Do ya then nurse and then doctor? Wanna help with new Minister of Health? Do ya? This country health infrastructure no good. It don't come for solve a major problem. We all know say that field they own, public health, not in field. But to God, one man know they do them. I hope say people then go they volunteer for build capacity, for train people, professionalism, how to do the work. Sometimes they have to
the basic equipment they're looking at the hospitals.
Basic equipment not there. Yeah, so
the government hospitals, medication not in at the government hospital, basic equipment.
So
where we that the government for provide.
Do ya? Money not in this country also right now. Now that make when they tell about wage bill, they expand and they do all that thing. I say, hey, not make like say you get beaucoup money, they do 50 thing there. Focus, get something there right.
This is a quick one. Money don't
everything
so how all the money that they come out from, like with all the money they owe, the big money they owe, they still not able for call where the African Express they and publish money don't know the country. So where all this money coming from?
Well, money then, what do I mean money in this country? Now for like capital investment, because about 85% of the revenue they get, they go for pay salaries, and they go for pay debts, and so on half the small way left. Now you're supposed to go inside education, healthcare. Now that make we advise, again, go to my speeches from day one. Say, if you don't know, say, the last government's been get austerity before you can inside. When you can inside, they get big programs immediately. If they try to consolidate, be careful, say, okay, I prioritize a few things so I will be able to get that money and go. But if they get that and spend them back, everything, all expenses, they go up. Don't solve the problem. Yeah.
Right.
So we get shortage of cash now, but the international community don't generous. I know that I don't call for a parliament the past 2 weeks, but also the other opposition members, APC don't call for it. We want to see almost debt we don't get us so now in 3 years. Because we don't estimate this government don't get about 1.5 billion in loans, but also in grants. Because the international community is sorry for we all. Because of Corona and all that, and they say, we don't want to let this country become a failed state. So any program come out, they give we money. But why we ask for that in a parliament? If the debt book, where you trust, you get for payback. And we've been not criticized the last government for debt. So now that make we say, well, no back, all the debts they will don't take, what you will take them for if they use them for that. Now, normal thing way opposition for us. So yes, me say don't ask if the other colleagues in the opposition. Again, This not about that business. This now what we call by accounting and accountability, value for money. If we don't trust this money for agriculture, for education and waiting, we want to know how they go inside, how they spend that, waiting and they do. But also we want to see the volume of debt where they now.
All right. Quickly, like I said, we're going to move quickly before you round up. We don't discuss plenty things, including the rule of law, the way things they pass the parliament. You know, it must happen when they want something. It has to happen, even though the rule of law is not being, recognized in a lot of places. Do you think that our democracy is under attack in any way?
Well, you don't hear waiting we political party don't say. You don't see Dr. Dennis Bright and on behalf and the Secretary General there on behalf of the party. We don't make that statement early this year already. Say we think say democracy they under threat. So I stick to my party in position in various ways. Yeah?
Okay.
And that's you see 12 other political parties make the same statement.
All right.
And that make them begin come together, say, in defense of democracy.
Okay.
While some of we, they work on practical reforms, gender quota to seem issue, the consortium, they say, look, una politicians, once and then someone we not the representative in a parliament and put it up. Say, we, they tell una, say, democracy, they under threat, and then give we symbol. So yes, then give we evidence of why they believe say democracy they under threat, why we all for be vigilant and make sure say stability and peace and prosperity spread in the country.
All right, our democracy is under attack. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the government for the past 3 years? On a scale of 1 to 10.
Low left-handed for the campaign.
No, I mean, your people are watching you. I mean,
yes, my people are watching. So I tell people they say
on a scale of 1 to 10. I mean, it's so simple.
They tell me people they say we get for take now sector by sector.
Okay, just put them in a lump sum. Not put them in a lump sum.
Because it's not that simple. I get for rate each sector. No worry.
Don't put them in a lump sum. Honorable sir, it's so simple. Don't put them in a lump sum. On a scale of 1 to 10. Salon people, we all know the reality. We just want to know you from a leader of a political party where they represent we in our parliament. How you can assess the government on a scale of 1 to
10? Right now they did 4 for us. They get a year, they get 2 years for come back, maybe they will knock 5.
Okay,
but then 4 for. Yes.
All right. How you will rate yourself, you, on a scale of 1 to 10? How you think you don't represent the people who vote you, who believe in you, who put you in a parliament on a scale of 1 to 10?
I will say I did 6.5 for us.
6.5.
So I did for reach 8 now.
Okay. Of course, you don't talk about your challenges then. So you did 6.5, then the government in the 4. Okay, interesting. So finally, what do you think? What do you expect of Sierra Leoneans then? Having bring out you want for popularize this proposed bill. What do you think for be we roll as Sierra Leoneans say? I think we don't talk about that, but let me just remind we say what do you think for be we roll right now? Because like you said, terminal day again. We just have like 6 months or so. Terminal day again, waiting for be we roll. I will for push.
Una spread the message, una mobilize, una call una MPs, una call una political parties, una belong to, una call the government, una send letter, una encourage them. This not to attack, because I know say Saloma like for attack. No. Yeah, me not believe that. So on 10 and day, you critique, you be aggressive, so other 10 and day, you cajole, you encourage. Me believe say the 10 don't reach now, we una all for mobilize. As I say, me say the test una. I see me say get for rate una. How much una self involved, even when they don't show una the issues, then don't show una sign of the constitution. Now homework we don't do for una. So we go see if una self. Gandhi na talking, be the change you want to see. Not the point and pan politician no more. You self now, they don't put something clear for you. Let's see what man then they do. Because Salomon say get a bad habit. Take other man hand, pull bangana fire.
You just don't put the word na me mouth. Because this is not the final question I will ask you. Say you don't want to able to elect for pull. Say Salomon want to take you. And what do you mean by that?
Because some people then can talk to me, dog. We not for agree. This way they can. We for mobilize now. Law protest to the government. I say, no problem. You ready for them? You match before law lead. Then you see the person lost. If you really believe in something, when me been believe, I give up my job. I can't. Where I been believe, I give up citizenship for can fight for this country. And from where I can to now where will they talk? I they talk about the issues. I they educate. Then say the man talk too much. Well, if you not be know, you don't know now because Salomon get the excuse. And I not be know, or if I be know, this if I be know no mix. At least on them topic here, Dr. Yumkella show you how you can achieve them. It left to we all now, if we want them. And more thing than the environmental protection. I ready for show again how we go do. I go ready for talk about what they do if we forest them. I want to talk about what they happen in mining. But let's test the way about. Let's see really if Una said, as I think in America, do you have fire in your belly? I don't know
so
how
you want for assure you supporters them, the progressives, the people that believed in you, the people that way puts the heavy weight on you, regardless. Some people let me left them particular and support you at that time. Some people they really believe in your ideology, but because of probably they not be understand what you said, they got to go inside they begin get a mixed feeling. So how you want for assure them people there and bring them back? Talk to you people then.
Well, then don't see evidence of waiting a mature, committed leader can do. Not to mago, not to for fame. You are thorough, you are systematic, you are also inclusive. You reach out, you talk to the government and others. You go state house on an issue. Then don't see. Then see the evidence. Second, then get me videos. Then get me YouTube videos. They don't see roles in parliament because in the televised parliament now, even though they make blabber in the show, they've seen the evidence. Then don't also see consistency. I don't do 6 years now. Today, now they talk. So 6 years later, the man still get fire in belly. He focused on issues. He try for drive there. And also, he mobilize with. So waiting me go commit with them. Regularly, some of una. I will kind of show again for let the able talk. You see, I not stop nobody. I ready for take questions. Yesterday, I've been doing another one with some man, they hammer me well. I appreciated it. It's their perspective, but we were in a dialogue. And at that, we want to show now with politics that we can disagree, but we are not disagreeable. We can disagree, but we are not enemies. It don't mean say as I open my mouth, you dismiss me or you say this na bad that man. No, if you not sabi, listen, take pen, make you make notes. Because at least me, they give solutions, and they give options, and they even do articles. Yeah. Recently, I go Kabbalah, I did Kabbalah, deep inside Kabbalah, I did fire articles from there. It shows say yes, me and the politician, we're ready for engage. I'm not afraid for express my views and let people disagree. No problem. But on my own view, you find other good way for doing. Now the same thing with this bill. I go gladly if government say, Kandeh, we don't see all your points. Look the back end or look better one. This is all about what we call continuous improvement. If me don't give one, you get better way. Do you put on because waiting do? I just want to solve the two-sim problem. I want to give the woman then position. I want to make more young people come in parliament. And I want to make sure, say 2022, it clear, say diaspora, then they register and vote two sides and sit down. It's very simple timetable. The other thing then go come, these ethnic audits, they can't fit for that one again. Sometimes they go find bill with Senate inside of institutions. Maybe that not be next one. The other one, a Government Transition Act. I don't say the dates of elections for fixed. Fortunately, I see the new neck boss, they try for solve that one day also. All them progressive agenda then they. Una for say, this might talk about a campaign, but look at it, they try for do each one, step by step. Because I'm not getting numbers. But yes, we will propose additional bills, but this is not test case. If they're not able to allow me for print this one, which guarantee I get say they go print the next one they will go bring. But we will test the system. If the system they work more, they can. Because I get good experts and friends around now both parties. Like this why people give me idea or let them not feel say an NGC idea no more. I get people then at the other two parties they will say, dog, some of we know how pull it over there, include that way dog will let the way this thing they go back to the group. So we go bring more for test the system if the system don't ready for work.
All right. Before as they round up, somebody talk say Jobsina talk say a man, what is it? A man on a mission and a man with a vision. So I think a practical leader.
I am humble.
That's what she calls you, a practical leader.
I am humble. But yes,
a man on a mission. Thank you very much, Jobsuna. That's a very good conclusion, but Honorable Dr. Kandeh Yumkella, a man on the mission. From today, I so good for the calling, a man on the mission. All right, thank you very much, Dr. Honorable Kandeh Kolleh Yumkella. It's been a pleasure having you on this show, Women and Politics. And you don't lay your case, you don't put your case to the Salone people. This is what we call democracy. Let's dialogue, let's debate on it, where you don't make clearly to the people of Sierra Leone and themselves don't understand, and people that maybe get mixed feeling of your position or mixed feeling of how you performance now the parliament. At least you don't able to make them clear today some of the challenges them where you the face inside the parliament, but yes, still you still they speak up, you still stand up for what you believe in. So I believe say people they don't get a clear mind and a clear understanding of what you do for, or what you don't do for the past 3 years in parliament, and what you want to continue to do. And this bill, like you said, is a challenge, it's a test. So we all as Sierra Leoneans, this now we go know if Salone really want for better. Now this is why we go know if we as Salone people the Wale Salone go before. Now this bill we go know if woman they can we and the one that waited before we really want woman for better. Now this bill we go know if woman this empowerment will they talk. Now this bill we go know if we mean that women's empowerment will all they preach was. Now this bill where diaspora they send them money contribute to the development and the GDP of Sierra Leone. Now this bill we go no say really diaspora then say ready for be part of the political process na Salone. And una way the Salone where we na diaspora they contribute to now the country una self need for team up and support the one the way the diaspora say. If diaspora come with all the professionalism, with all the ideas where they get to their country also, and get the opportunity for come bring and come na Salone, una can imagine how Salone will look like. That we mentality now, so we don't use for do them. This is how we used to do it. No come for camp well too, we don't do. Now so we don't do them. I think so it's high time we begin to change our mindsets. It's high time we begin to look at the bigger picture. Like Doc say, we get for look at the bigger picture. We get for pull party color aside and think about Sierra Leone. This bill, honestly, this is a really good bill for Sierra Leone. The diaspora bill is very good for Sierra Leone because we get Sierra Leoneans there. So honestly, Doc, before you go, we have Sierra Leonean women, men, where they're not American politics. Where right now then they vote for, then they vie for positions then. I mean, if America can do it, what about we? You know, understand? What we want for left only people there with potential, making them they go to other countries and showcase their expertise. What we get all their resources there, then human capital there. So what we know for utilize them? I mean, this is a big challenge now to we, where Doc himself don't put to we, and I believe say the other political parties that were in a parliament were able to work with you for ensure, say, including the government, go do with all sincerity, go able to work with you for ensure say this bill is not about you, it's not about your party, but it's about Sierra Leonean. Thank you very much. This is how I'm going to wrap the cutting down. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure having you, Doc. And also, you don't open. I mean, you have to do more of this. You have to do more of this dialogue, this conversation. You have to do it because people are so excited hearing from you. You know, especially on social media. Social media is the big thing now. Social media is moving, so you have to engage that is social media. You know what I mean? Apart from the the traditional media will get our country, but social media we say it like it is. You know, we they talk them how it be. We not get no strings attached. You know, we here for can talk the truth, and we support you. Me they support you on this bill because me are there for woman, tigi. So we they support you, and I will do my best, and how will do my own best as a woman for ensure say we self-mobilize for ensure that this bill will come to reality. We all benefit from this 30%, but we all benefit as women from this 30%. And we believe say coalition, like you said, is the way forward. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, keep telling it to Racheal on women and politics. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
Women and politics. Women have been abused, marginalized, and their human rights been violated in our political spectrum. and this has been a trending issue on the role women play in politics. It is against this backdrop that the iconic Tell It to Racheal talk show platform brings you Women and Politics. Women and Politics is the all-new social media reality talk show that will propagate the very notable and desirable women of Sierra Leone to tell the whole story behind the stories in the political arena. Women and Politics, hosted by Racheal Bangura-Davies. Women and Politics